Okay, so welcome in. So today what we are going to do is we are going to cover the topic of pain. We are on the second round of the Destigmatize Pain. And today we'll focus, we said, we will do using sound. Before we get into this sound stuff, I just want to give you a couple of things, maybe a bit of repeat from last time, but a little bit idea because you have to create meaning. Your this part of your body, the brain, has to create meaning. And so this is what I wanted to give you in the beginning. I also have a model which I apply. This is when I work with people one to one, I use this model. So I want to share with you my model of how I work with people. And then we will get into tuning fork session toward the end, which will be the longest part of this one, which is what you wanted. Okay, so let's go talk about pain. Three kinds of, at least I categorize very quickly into these categories of pain. This is from all the experience I had myself with my life, but also working with people. So pain is can be physical. It can come from an accident. It can come from surgery. It can be post-treatments, or can come with disease when the organs get impacted with disease. It creates pain, and you feel it, sense it. It's very physical. There's also emotional pain. It comes with losses, tragedies, abuse, bullying, abandonment, helplessness. It creates a lot of emotional pain. And then there are other kinds of pain that are there. We are society pain situation. I mean, look what's happening with the world, the pandemic, but also wars, etc. And we take that pain to ourselves and it starts to affect us. And then the last but not the least is the cultural pain, legacy burdens. And this one I want to specify on this. This is a blindsided. You don't know it, you haven't gone through it, but you carry it. And you carry it the most. It's like the blind side of your mirror. And these are the most danger point for people which miss out pain because you don't understand it because it didn't happen to you. It happened to your parents, it happened to your culture where you live in, but you have all the elements of the burden of the pain. So just to know physical, emotional, and other types. These are types of pain that what I've seen and what I understand exist there. Now, this is something we talked about last time, but I want to just emphasize there are three functions of pain. One is survival, which means that when you are starting to get into a pain, there's a kind of an immediate withdrawal reaction to get more pain. So it's like prevents. So it's a withdrawal mechanics. And this can happen with physical pain, but it happens also with emotional pain. Okay. So you kind of, it's a survival, what they call survival value pain. A pain that prevents further injury. So you already have gone through certain kind of pain. It could be physical pain, but it could also emotional pain, heartbreaks. Okay, so I had love in my life, and that love did something wrong to me. I'm not going to go into that again because it will be broken again. So you prevent. Okay, so it's a kind of pain that prevents further injury. Uh, then there's also the pain which comes from damaged joints, which is mostly physical, infection, diseases, accidents, etc. So, so that's a function of pain. So pain is a survival mechanism, but it also helps to prevent, and sometimes it is something you have to endure because of what has happened physically with you. Now, the pain perception, and we talked last time, I just want to repeat, it's a really important point, but there is mechanics exist into your neurology, which basically helps to what we call maintain or manage pain. Okay, it's at the and it's called gate control theory. You can read about it. You can always go and find it and more go into detail. But it's the part that is what is used to manage pain physically. Okay, so that's why if you have a physical pain and you put an ice pack or you rub something like a anti-inflammatory, there is a sense of reduced pain. Okay, because this is what happens is the perception gets changed because of the mechanics in our body, which is used to do that. But on the other side, if you are very anxious, or you're depressed, or you are panicking, the pain goes up because it works in the reverse way. So there is a kind of gate which is in the part of the spinal cord system, which is how the message goes into the brain, which can be modulated to reduce or in the other way to increase pain. And and that's why when people do intense exercises, uh, yogas, etc., you hear people getting less pain because of the way this works. Now, it doesn't mean that the root is gone. It just means that the perception of pain can be reduced. Okay. So I just wanted to give you this element before we get into what we are going to do today. Okay. Uh, and I wanted to share with you my model. This is what when people come in and come to me and say, well, I have this going on in my life. This is how I work. This is the theory I use. Okay. So your pain-free life. So I feel there are three major elements that come into play. Your mind, okay, which is the perception that you have. The body itself, which means all the systems, the physical systems in your body, okay. And I go a little bit into food, nourishment, what you eat, okay. And these three actually play a very important role to either bring you into pain when they're out of balance and out of pain when they get into balance. And so, why mind? Now, diseases, okay, or depressions, insomnia, relationship issues, breakups, abuse, lack of relationship, careers, when you're not growing, burnout, stress in careers, all these what they do is they have a strong impact on your brain, on your mind. And that's why when you say your mind is out of balance, because of the effect that they create. Now, the body is where physically the organs, okay? So it's where there are aches and pains. You get diseases into different organs, okay? And of course, you get into surgeries or accidents which affect different body or different systems in your body. Now, nutrition is a strange animal here, but a human body is a chemical factory. It does billions of chemical reactions every second. And what triggers? So you have your chemistry, which is there, your chemical composition. But then what you do is you put food inside. Now, when food goes in, it actually creates a chemical reaction. And the kind of food has a kind of reaction. And so you have all these different stories that come in from food intolerance, from uh, irritable bowel syndrome, gut issues, etc. Now, all of them in different ways contribute to pain, or what we call pain. Okay, and and the whole idea is when you start to put your mind and your body in balance, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit, it actually reduces your pain perception dramatically. And for example, today, when we will do our work, we are going to work on those two sides. We will use sound to actually impact body organs, but also a little bit mind. And so the perception of pain, whatever you have, should get reduced just by playing on those two areas. Now, and what I have found is that actually, if you focus on two, any two you choose, you focus on mind and body, and you try to bring them both to balance, the third gets automatically resolved. So if there's an imbalance of due to food, if you take care of your body and take care of your mind, the food will start to get resolved. If you take care of your food and your mind, your body starts to recover. And so mind, in my experience, plays the big role because it all starts here, because that's how We say that. And the other two, you can choose to work on your body. So what can you do with your body? You can create body more balance. People talk about yoga, acupuncture. I mean, all traditional Chinese medicine is around body. Uh, uh, Sound work that we are going to do is on body, yoga, running, and exercise, or whatever. Anything you do to bring your organs to balance is working on your body. And you can use any technique. Technique is not the point. And the same with the mind. A, dis, a mind in disharmony, which is what you usually find people in, is the first thing to be worked with, because when the mind goes into harmony, which means you start to feel peace, okay? I mean, we heard before what somebody was sharing, that is actually working at the level of mind. And as that mind starts to become, and the little one starts to be more feel more safe, and I'm okay, can be loved, it has impact into how the body starts. If there's a pain in the body, it starts to get balanced. You can do some other things and bring it further into balance. Or you can work with the food. Nutrition is a big subject. People do that. The only recommendation I want to do with on the food part, I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't make any big thing, but I just say one thing is be careful that each body is different, and you must don't go into what is written on the Google, etc. General rules. You should eat broccoli and you should not eat that and you should do that. This is all absolutely crap. From my big experience, is each body is different. You should think about and check with your body what is the best nutrition for you, and your body has intelligence to tell you. Okay, and if you have a question on that, we can talk at the end. So I just want to stay with these two things for you to think about. Work on your mind, work on your body, or nutrition, and you move towards a pain-free life. Okay, so that's the model. Now, let's go to yourself. Before we get into tuning forks that we are going to get into, I just want you to go back into yourself, because it's important that you connect to the pain that you want to resolve, right? So take a moment, okay, and stay with this chart, which is what kind of pain are you talking about for yourself? Okay, the character of it. Is it sharp, burning? Where do you, when did it start? So what time frame you have in terms of when do you remember it started? Okay. Uh, where is it located? Duration means how long you have it. Sorry, it's not when it starts. When it starts, you already did it. Uh, what conditions makes it worse? When I'm at home, it becomes worse. When I'm at work, as I walk into my workplace, my pain goes up. When I'm with this guy or that girl, pain goes up. Whatever. Okay. When I go to shopping, my pain goes up. When I go to, and it's both for relief and pain. What conditions makes it worse or makes it better? When I'm sitting in a hot water, it becomes better, whatever it is. So think about that. And one last point is, what was going on in your life when it all started? So you say, well, this pain started when I was 10 years old, or when 10 years ago. What was happening at that time in your life? An association. Okay, so take a moment. You can put it on a paper or just do a mental look at it and think about your pain and do your assessment. Just going to make one change. Yeah. Heaviness in legs. Yeah. For you, this is because of pain. Okay, so we are going to go into the tuning fork. So now, just to give a bit of brief before we get into it for those of you who are coming first time. So what we are going to do is work on what is called biofield tuning. So the way this works is that uh, we use tuning forks to find and release what we call points in your biofield. So biofield is something which is like 5 feet around you. It's like a torus, okay? And uh, the premise of this system is that every time we go through difficulty in our life, trauma or any difficulty, it gets lodged as a stress point into our biofield. And when you use a tuning fork, certain frequencies, you can find it and then use a different tuning fork to release it, at the same time making sure the body is hearing it. So it is not something that one works another person without the person being there. Although in another way, let's stay with that story for the moment. Uh, so you work on the two sides of the body, but all across your different systems of what we call the chakras or or energy centers, and different kinds of traumas or pain are located or associated with different. So, for example, in your heart or this space which is around your chest, on the left side is all the pain of losses. For example, you'll find them all there. On the right side of your belly button, you'll find all the anger, so all the stories of anger and etc. So different locations have different experiences stored, and so in a session, typically what we do is first open the channel. So we start at the bottom of the feet and top of the head. Okay, so you have the two centers opened, and then you use a pendulum to find which center to work based on the group energy and where all of you want to work on together. So that's how it works. And then we go into the field and start. So the furthest 5 feet is the birth, and the nearest, which is 10 inches next to you, is the present moment. And then on the two sides, on the right side is all the legacy that you have taken from your mother or father, and on the left side is from the mother. So the pain that mother or father had in their lives that you have taken over is found there, and so that may come up and get released. And so the way it will work is that we'll do a lot of breathing. So breathing is a big element in this work. So you will stay in a very comfortable position. You can be sitting, lying down as you wish, and you will hear me breathe. And I want you to breathe with me the same way. And the breathing is you take a breath, deep breath from your nose, and you fill up your belly, and then you breathe out from your mouth. Okay? And when you breathe in, you imagine that the breath is coming from the top of your head into your belly. And then when you breathe out, you're breathing actually into your legs. So you're actually opening the whole channel. And the second thing you will hear me sometimes say when it's become very difficult is something like this. Big release. Okay. Now they are all meant to help you release whatever you're holding on. The other thing to remember is when I will start to work in the field, I will tell you ages. So you are before birth, which may be in a mother's womb, or you are 0 or 1 year old, 2 year, 5 year, seven. I don't know. It depends on what intention you will put and how it will show up in your field. And all you need to do is I will tell you, go to that point. So it's 3 years old. And when you say 3 years old, do you have something that comes up as an event or any memory? If it does, just hold it. And you just need to go to that memory, to that place, and then bring that energy in and sense the tuning fork as it works through you and releases that. So you are doing only holding of that space. There could be a memory, there could be a belief, there could be images, there could be a movie, whatever it comes up, you just hold it. You don't have to say anything to anybody. Just hold that space of remembering that and whatever it feels to you. And then with the tuning fork, we release it. So that's the work we're going to do. Okay. So if you're ready, I just want you to think about a wish, something you want for you. You've already done a little bit of thinking about your pain, but now I want you to think about a wish. And as you think about your wish, broadcast this wish as if you're literally shouting into your body, into your head. And so every cell of your body hears what you want. You're telling each cell, this is my wish. So all your system hears it. And just stay with that for a moment and we will start. So think about a wish and make sure every cell of your body hears your wish. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening the center below the feet, your feet. So first is that one to be entered. So what you're going to hear is a tuning fork, and you will hear me say breathe. So you breathe with me. So I'm just below your feet, pointing the tuning fork towards your body to open the channel which goes from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Take a breath. Take another breath. Take a breath. I'm going to ground you, connect you to Mother Earth. So take a breath. So we're going to move to the top of the head, open up the channel. And I'm pointing the tuning fork into your head, from top of your head. So the sound goes into the head, through your backbone, down to Mother Earth. Just sense whatever you sense, feel. If there are any sensations into your body, just sense them. Take a breath. So I'm going to run a pendulum to check which center, according to your wishes, as a group, are you working. So we start with the feet, and then the knees, the thighs, the root chakra. Yeah, so it's coming to root again. Okay, it was a bit last time. Left side, or very strongly right side. And I'm on the sacral. It says it's okay. Solar plex. Okay. Heart. Okay. Throat. Up. Okay, wants to work on the throat. Left side. Okay, so it wants us to work on the root chakra. So it's all about sense of security, relationship of being on the earth, and being part of a community or tribe. That's where the stress is. And the left side is mother side, and the right side is father side. The father side was very strong, more violent. So it is all about overdoing, busyness, driven by guilt rather than objective. So you're doing things not because you want to, but because you feel if you don't do something, wrong will happen. And overdoing and overthinking. So not allowing to surrender to life. So we'll start from the birth and we'll move into, I will tell you an age. And if something comes up for you, you will just go there and while I heal it or treat it. So here we go. So I'm about 5 feet on the left side, on the right side of your root chakra, root center. So it's where your hips are. So in the moment your birth. Actually before birth. Okay, so 3 months before you were born. So mother womb. So take a breath. Whatever was there got cleared. Just like that. So I'm on a birth and now it starts to be difficult. Take a breath. So, for you, if you find anything related to your birth, the time of your birth, what I work with different tuning forks. So think about, you may have heard stories about your birth time. Any difficulties, either being born, got very sick, or even felt unwanted. Could be all of them. So take a deep breath and make a sound like ha. Okay, so you change the tone. Breath. Just release. So very early, 3-year-old, very little. Actually, 2 ages came up, 3 and 5. First is 3. So think about at the age of 3, if you heard something about which happened around you, with you. So now I move to 5. Yeah. Five is much bigger, so see whatever comes up for you. And take a deep breath. Take a breath. Okay, so 12 years old. Whatever is coming up at the age of 12. Bring it into your awareness. Stay with it. However it feels, remembering that if there is any belief that you built at that time, just focus on that. Okay, so the 12 is still there. Take a deep breath and okay, so it could be more than one thing which you're holding. Okay, moved. 24. So age of 24, if anything comes up. It changed. Uh, te- 10 years ago. So just go to a time which is 10 years ago. Yeah. You may feel it in your stomach, or you can feel it in the lower back. Just release. Okay, released. So think about your father and think about the most pain you've seen in your father. Yeah. Because his pain is also in you. So think about that. Just send blessing to him. However has been your relationship with him, but just send blessing. This is the pain you saw in your father, not from your father to you, but in your father, which may translate into you. By releasing it from your system, you're also helping him. Cleared. Okay, so we are going to work on the left side of the throat first. Okay, so now I'm on so imagine going 5 feet on the left side of your throat. This is all about expression. This is what all the things, emotions that you could not express, including your creativity and including truth of what could have happened to you or your truth that you could never express. So all the things you have kept inside of you. So we start with from the birth. It's very clear. Just take a breath. Okay, so 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years. So anything that comes up. Just do that. Yeah, again, 10 years ago. So it's going back also 10 years ago. So if it was what you saw, heard before, that's okay as well. Or if something new is coming up when you think about 10 years ago. Okay, so now I'm on your mother's side. And so think about all the pain that you saw in your mother. And just be observant to it, sense it. It is hers, but you could have taken part of it unknowingly. Every form of pain that you saw in your mother's life, just observe it. At the same time, keep her in place of love. Because you are helping her release, just stay with it. I'm going to release it out. I'm going to release also from the root chakra as well. So now we are going to freeze. Whatever changes are going to happen, they will continue to happen for next 48 hours. And cocoon the body with 528 hertz.
stay in that relaxed position for a few minutes.